my name's Jack. I'm a F1 junior doctor at St Peter's Hospital currently. So I was doing a simulation session with one of our consultants here at St Peter's, and part of the simulation involved trying to use an EpiPen. It became quite clear during the session that myself and a number of the other paediatric trainees didn't really know how to use an EpiPen in a timely and effective manner. And actually during the simulation I ended up administering or would have administered the adrenaline with this training pen to myself had it been in a real situation. Talking to some of my colleagues, this seemed to be quite a prevalent problem, so we decided it would be good to see if we could create a training program for those that might come into contact with EpiPens so they could be more familiar with them and be able to use them safely and appropriately. So our idea is that we'd create a simulation session where we had a very brief clinical scenario and made it very clear that the only point of that situation was to administer an EpiPen to a mannequin. We'd allow all of the F1 doctors at St Peter's to try and do this, and we'd mark them on a basic scoring sheet that was given to us by one of our anaphylaxis training nurses. The idea being that if they ticked all 8 boxes, then we could say that adrenaline had been effectively delivered to that patient.
Now the EpiPen is inside this rigid container for protection. It is always given in the thigh, nowhere else. Take the blue cap off always. You draw an imaginary line, this is the way we teach the parents, down the middle of the thigh, 4 squares, and you're looking for the muscle here. And about 10 centimeters away, you literally go and it clicks. And then you hold it in for 10 seconds.
So during the day I was to some degree relieved to discover it wasn't just me that wasn't familiar with the EpiPens and how to use them. We had quite a low scoring, only 1 out of 28 of the junior doctors that tried it was actually able to use our EpiPen, which I have to say was fewer than we expected it to be. The training session went really well. We got a fantastic talk from one of our anaphylaxis nurses. Even having done the project, I learned something from her. And then going back, the improvement was remarkable. And I think given the stepwise instructions that they were given and then just the familiarity with using the EpiPen, a lot of people came away with really positive impressions, and our numbers markedly improved, with 73% then being able to fulfill all 8 criteria quickly and effectively. So I found it really interesting being involved in this quality improvement project and taking it from the start. I think the thing that I really learnt is that the planning stage is very important. I thought I had quite a clear plan, but even on the day, things got thrown up that we weren't expecting. So making sure that you know exactly what you're measuring and exactly what your outcome is and exactly how you're going to affect that change, for me, is really important. I've also found that even though we thought we delivered quite a good session, only 73% of people were then able to do it afterwards. So the work is not over, and not just to do a simple intervention, but to have plans on how you can follow it up, expand it to more groups, and then make sure that that information is retained at a later date. I think it's going to be really important for our project.